Richard's in Chelmsford. Richard, what would you like to say?
Yeah, hello, James. Been looking forward to this.
Go on, mate.
Yeah. Basically, I don't think it's about the curtsy itself.
What isn't?
I think it. Well, that was your conversation, right?
Yeah,
That's
but
about,
what isn't about the
conversation.
curtsy? The anger and the outrage.
Yeah, well, her presentation of what she's saying.
Of the
I don't
curtsy.
think it's about the curtsy
Right.
itself.
No.
I think it's about the sort of character that she is.
Yeah.
Which seems obviously quite vindictive.
Right.
Because I think it's evident that she had split up with a few partners in the past.
God, really?
And sent a ring in the post, just dropped her boyfriend. I think he was a restaurateur or something,
God.
and he was going to further her career.
Right. Where did you learn this?
This morning.
No, but where? Where did the information come from?
Oh, Talk Radio, your favourite.
What?
Yeah, I know you're laughing, James. Yeah, I know you would, because you think you're the bee's knees, aren't you, mate?
Richard, you were looking forward to this. Let's not let it fall apart quite so early.
No, I am looking forward to
this.
So
you heard on a radio station that she once sent a ring to an ex, and now you know what her character really is.
No, you can.
But
see
why
it.
didn't you hear on this radio? No, you carry on.
Yourself?
You crack on, mate.
Don't you see it yourself? I mean, I don't actually think that you believe what you're saying. I think you're a provocateur, and that's the whole basis of your show, isn't it?
And now we're talking about me.
But it's always about you, isn't it?
No, we're talking about Meghan Markle and your insights into her character gleaned from listening to a different radio station an hour ago.
Yeah, they had Richard Tice on earlier. You know, the one that you had out in Keckner's.
Yes, I told him to
That's
F
right,
off.
yeah.
Why are we talking about that now, Richard?
No, I'm just sort of saying that because you asked me where I heard it. That's all.
But you'd already told me.
Yeah.
So what's going on, Richard? Really? Do you think? Yeah.
But how do you mean?
Well, you've got on the radio. You said you were really looking forward to it, and
well, I am because
but here you are. What are you
just
telling me,
bullied the poor
Richard?
girl on radio.
What do you think you're telling me?
You just bullied a poor girl on the radio. She's speaking a lot of sense, and you're just trying to humiliate her.
Okay, I mean that's a criticism that I have now heard. But why are you here?
I am here because I'm telling you I think she's a very vindictive character.
Based on what?
I know people.
Yeah, go on.
I've met people that have gone out with partners that think they're the bee's knees,
Right.
and when the attention doesn't come their way, they think they're queen bee. I've been out with women like that myself. And,
Right, you've been out with women like Meghan Markle, Richard.
Obviously, they haven't been on the Suits. Oh God! I'm just saying that character. They think they're high maintenance types,
Right.
and attention seeking.
Okay. Why are you giving her so much attention?
Why am I giving her so much attention? I've just brought it up because that's your subject, and it's this whole big thing. This is, I'm sort of in relation to what the last lady said. There's people that won't be able to afford to heat their homes and everything, and everybody's making a big thing about.
Why have you never rung me about them?
Huh?
Why have you never rung me about them? We were talking about them yesterday.
But you don't care about food banks.
We were talking about them yesterday. Why didn't you ring me then?
I've tried to ring you several times.
Everyone's talking about how they've tried to talk about food banks.
I tried to ring you last week, but
Okay.
I tried to ring you last week. But you don't care about the people that you pretend you're caring about.
Well, that's another criticism that you have now made.
It's the truth.
Okay.
You're a liar and a bully.
Here we are.
I know you're a liar.
Yeah. And back to Meghan Markle.
There's evidence out there.
Back to Meghan Markle.
I've just told you.
You told. Okay.
So what's your answer, James? What's your answer? What's your clever comeback?
I don't need a clever comeback, Richard.
Come on.
No, I don't. I don't need a clever comeback.
on,
I only need a clever comeback if somebody hasn't really done my job for me by humiliating themselves live on the radio, mate.
But you humiliate yourself on the radio every day because you just sort of.
You know what you just said. You just did. I know you are, but what am I?
You're such a child. Grow up.
Anything else?
I know you've got issues, James. But,
Yeah,
that's why you bully people. You know. I'm sure you're a really lovely fella, really, but you just need to be nicer to people.
When you came on air and said, I've really been looking forward...
I've been looking forward to it a long time.
What were you looking forward to, mate?
To basically saying that I think you're a liar.
Okay.
Kebab Awards.
Pardon?
The Kebab Awards, hello? You're doing your listeners a very bad disservice, aren't you? Because you're not really telling them the truth, aren't you?
About the Kebab Awards?
Yeah. The mask business. Is it
the mask business at the Kebab Awards?
Yeah, you said it was impossible to eat a kebab wearing a mask while eating a kebab.
I stand by that. I stand by that, Richard.
All the evidence that is on there, you're not eating a kebab at the time, and you're having your photos taken, not wearing a mask.
There was no mask. There was no mask mandate at the Kebab Awards, mate.
No, yes, there was.
No, there wasn't. No, there wasn't.
Yes, there was.
Okay. This is what you were looking for. When was that, incidentally?
I was looking forward to it.
When was that?
Huh?
When was that?
When?
Yeah.
What, the Kebab Awards?
Yeah.
Last year, wasn't it?
I don't think so. I think it might have been the year before.
No, it was 2021. I'll have to look at that.
Okay.
But I'm sure it was 2021.
And this is what you were really looking forward to doing today?
Oh, yeah, I've been looking forward to it a long time because I think you're a bully and a liar.
Okay. I wish you well, Richard. I really do. Maybe
I wish you well.
Try and spend a little bit less time hating and a little bit more time looking after yourself.
No, I don't like people being bullies, that's all.
Well, I'm not bullying you, Richard. I'm listening to you.
No, you're not bullying me. You won't bully me, but you bully the last lady. You bully your listeners every day, don't you? You patronise them.
How do you feel about the people who bully Meghan?
How do I feel about the people that bully Meghan? I don't like them.
Oh, okay. But I
don't like them.
But you've rang in to assassinate her character because she reminds you of your ex.
I'm not. You're twisting my words.
I'm really not, mate. There's a tape.
I'm not your mate.
See, this is what people.
Not your mate.
Okay.
I'm not your mate.
Okay, Richard. I'm not twisting. I'm not twisting your words, Richard. Well, you seem to think you know me quite well. You've been offering up a fairly detailed analysis of my character. I would suggest that you think you do know me quite well.
I don't know you.
Well, then, where did all these accusations come from?
You come across as a liar.
Okay.
But,
what did you think was going to happen?
I remember seeing you on morning programmes on Sunday.
Yes.
On Sundays back in the day, and
yes.
I just thought, no. My dad said, "Oh, that James character, he doesn't come across as a very nice fella."
No. What did you think was going to happen, Richard? Seriously, did you think I was going to get cross, or that you were going to get the better of me, or that? I mean, what did you think when you were sitting there? Wait, just let me ask this because I'm genuinely interested, and maybe your dad could help as well. But when I didn't, I just said maybe your dad could help as well. When you were sitting there waiting to come on, thinking, right, I'm going to show him, and what did you just in your mind? You must have had a vague idea of what was going to happen. What did you think was going to happen, Richard?
I just want you to be a bit nicer to your listeners.
And you thought the way to achieve that was by ringing me up and trying to insult me repeatedly.
But you
so what did you think was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen? I just want to know, seriously, because then maybe next time I could help you, and it would happen. Did you think you were going to beat me in an argument, or that you were going to get? What did you think? What then, Richard?
No, nothing in particular at all. Really.
But what were you looking forward to?
I was looking forward to just telling you a few home truths.
Okay, and how are you feeling now?
Yeah, I feel all right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So we'll do it again.
A bit like how you feel when you get things off your chest, I suppose, like to your listeners every day.
Right.
I bet you've bolstered your chest down, and you know.
Yeah, all of that, Richard.
Oh yeah. Oh, you do. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I'm sure you're a decent guy, really.
No, but you were sure I'm not 2 minutes ago.
Huh? But I think it's all a facade. I think you're. I don't know. I don't buy it. I don't buy the the nonsense that you spout.
You all right, mate?
Are you all right? I mean, did therapy work out for you?
Very well. I wrote about it in my last book.
It worked out for you, did it?
Yeah.
Well, it didn't, did it? It didn't.
It seems like such a good idea on Twitter, doesn't it? Yeah.
Who said anything about Twitter?
Well, or whatever sort of weird little chat group or Facebook. But it's such a good idea. All these
I
things.
don't use social
I'll get
media.
on air. I'll tell him what's what. I'll show him what
media.
it's really like. And mate, you're sitting here with your trousers around your ankles, talking about the Kebab Awards.
But you lied about it. You did lie about it.
Well, I lied about the Kebab Awards.
No, you lied about the fact that you said it was impossible to eat a kebab while wearing a mask.
It is.
All the evidence
Richard.
The evidence is out there. You are not wearing a mask. You are not eating a kebab.
No.
You lied.
And here we are.
You lied.
I know.
But yeah, tell your listeners to go and look. The evidence is out there.
It's not the X-Files.
So you're acting like a child.
Yeah.
You sound like you're acting like a child. That's not how. You're what, 50 years old now, are you? You're behaving like a child. Why are you acting like that?
I didn't want you to think I was talking over you or cutting you off, Richard.
No, go on. I'm sorry to be wasting your show.
I am loving. You're making a very helpful contribution, which everyone's enjoying enormously.
Yeah, I bet they're laughing. Yeah. It's Keith. No, this is fine. But no, as I say, I genuinely think that Meghan is a vindictive character.
Yeah. She reminds you of your ex.
She reminds me of, people that I've been out with, and yeah.
I'm going to have to go to the news, Richard.
They're Queen, they're Queen Bee.
No, let's wait. Hold the news. Yeah, Queen Bee, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you hate bullies. But you hate bullies.
Yeah.
What are you going to have for tea?
What are you going to have for tea?
A kebab.
Credits to James O'Brien for exposing one of the strangest and most revealing aspects of the hatred directed at Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. The complete inability of many critics to explain their feelings with actual evidence. Because this conversation perfectly captures what has happened for years whenever people try to justify their anger toward Meghan. The accusations are always emotional, always vague, always deeply personal, but almost never grounded in anything concrete. And that's exactly what makes this exchange so fascinating. The caller begins by insisting that the outrage surrounding Meghan is not really about the curtsy joke that sparked the conversation. According to him, the issue is her character. Now, pay attention to how quickly this argument falls apart. James O'Brien asks the obvious question: what evidence are you basing this on? And suddenly the caller starts referencing gossip from another radio station, rumours about ex-boyfriends, and vague assumptions about Meghan being high maintenance or attention-seeking. That is the foundation, not facts, not verified behaviour, not serious wrongdoing, just gossip, assumptions, and projection. And honestly, this has been the pattern surrounding Meghan Markle from the very beginning. People decide they dislike her first. Then they desperately search for reasons afterward. The conversation becomes even more revealing when the caller compares Meghan to women he has dated in the past. Think about how bizarre that is. A complete stranger projects his personal experiences with ex-partners onto a woman he has never met, based entirely on media narratives and tabloid speculation. And yet this kind of thinking became incredibly common during the peak of anti-Meghan coverage. Millions of people convinced themselves they knew her personality through newspaper headlines. Not through actual interactions, not through real evidence, through stories designed specifically to provoke emotional reactions. James O'Brien immediately sees through this. That is why he keeps calmly asking the same question in different ways. Where did this opinion come from? What exactly did she do? Why are you so emotionally invested in someone you have never met? And the caller never truly answers, because underneath the outrage there is often something much less rational happening. Projection, resentment, class anxiety, media influence, sometimes even jealousy toward confidence and independence. What makes Meghan Markle such an unusual public figure is that she became a symbol onto which people projected their frustrations and biases. For supporters, she represented modernization, independence, and breaking outdated traditions. For critics, she became a convenient target for every grievance they had about celebrity culture, changing social norms, and even the monarchy itself. But here is the important part. The criticism rarely matched reality. The caller says Meghan is vindictive. Based on what? Because she left royal life? Because she defended herself publicly? Because she spoke openly about mental health and media treatment? None of those things make someone vindictive. And this is where Prince Harry becomes such an important part of the story. Because Harry himself consistently supported Meghan's version of events. That detail gets ignored constantly. Critics often frame Meghan as though she somehow manipulated Harry into leaving the royal family, as if he were incapable of independent thought. But Harry has repeatedly explained why he made the decisions he did. He watched the press treatment of his wife become increasingly hostile. He feared history repeating itself after losing his mother, Princess Diana. And he chose to prioritize his family's well-being over royal expectations. That is not weakness. That is not manipulation. That is a husband protecting his family. And honestly, many people would respect the exact same behavior if it happened outside the context of royalty. Imagine any ordinary couple experiencing constant media harassment, invasion of privacy, racist commentary online, and relentless tabloid attacks. Most people would encourage them to leave that environment immediately. But somehow Harry and Meghan were expected to remain inside it and silently endure everything for the sake of tradition. That expectation alone reveals how unfair the situation became. One of the most revealing moments in this exchange happens when the caller suddenly shifts away from Meghan entirely and starts accusing James O'Brien of being a bully and a liar. Why? Because the argument is collapsing. And this happens constantly in discussions about Meghan Markle. Once critics are pressed for specifics, the conversation often becomes emotional and defensive rather than factual. The anger exists before the evidence. That is the key point. And James exposes this brilliantly by refusing to let the caller hide behind vague insults or tabloid language. Every time the caller makes a claim, James asks the same thing. Based on what? That simple question destroys most anti-Meghan narratives almost immediately, because so much of the hostility depends on implication rather than proof. She seems fake. She looks attention-seeking. she appears manipulative. These are not factual arguments. They are feelings shaped by media framing. And media framing around Meghan was incredibly aggressive for years. Headlines criticised things that would have been praised if done by other royals. When Meghan edited Vogue magazine, critics accused her of being too political. When she spoke about mental health, critics called her dramatic. When she and Harry stepped back from royal duties, critics called them selfish. Yet, when other public figures prioritise privacy or family well-being, they are often praised for setting healthy boundaries. The double standard became impossible to ignore. What also stands out in this conversation is the obsession with Meghan's personality. Not her actions, not policies, not scandals, her personality. People who never met her became convinced they understood her character completely. That level of emotional investment is extraordinary. And honestly, it says more about public psychology and media culture than it does about Meghan herself. The British tabloids understood something very clearly. Outrage sells, conflict sells, and Meghan became one of the most profitable media targets in the world. Every facial expression became a story. Every family disagreement became front-page news. Every rumour became national debate. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan themselves kept trying to explain the emotional toll this environment was taking. But critics often dismissed their experiences immediately. That reaction became especially striking after the couple spoke openly about mental health struggles. Instead of empathy, many commentators accused them of complaining or seeking attention. Yet conversations about mental health are supposedly something modern society encourages, unless apparently the people speaking are Harry and Meghan. Then suddenly vulnerability becomes weakness. And despite all of this, Harry remained remarkably consistent. He repeatedly defended his wife. He repeatedly explained his fear of media intrusion. He repeatedly emphasized protecting his children from the same pressures he experienced growing up. That consistency matters, because it destroys the idea that Meghan somehow dragged Harry unwillingly into a new life. Harry made his own choices. And perhaps that is what bothers some critics most of all. The idea that a prince willingly stepped away from royal tradition for love, family, and personal freedom challenges decades of assumptions about duty and hierarchy. It humanizes royalty in a way some people dislike. Because once you accept Harry's perspective, the story changes completely. It stops being about rebellion and starts becoming about survival. The exchange with James O'Brien ultimately exposes something very uncomfortable about modern media culture. People can develop intense hatred toward public figures they know almost nothing about. Not because of evidence, not because of direct experience, but because repetition creates emotional certainty. If negative headlines appear every day for years, eventually many people stop questioning whether the narrative itself is fair. That is why conversations like this matter. Because James keeps forcing the discussion back to reality. What exactly did Meghan Markle do? Not what people feel, not gossip, not assumptions, actual actions. And once that question is asked seriously, the entire anti-Meghan narrative suddenly looks much weaker than many people realized. At the heart of this story is something surprisingly simple. A woman entered one of the most famous families in the world. She faced extraordinary scrutiny and hostility. Her husband chose to stand beside her instead of abandoning her to preserve tradition. And together they built a new life outside the system that hurt them. Everything else is noise layered on top of that reality. And maybe that is why so many critics still struggle to explain their anger clearly. because deep down the facts themselves are not nearly as convincing as the outrage surrounding them.